What's up, RAWBABES? And today I'm giving you very much raw. By the thumbnail, you already know it's going to be a raw tutorial, so let's just jump right into it. So this is a client, beautiful client, and y'all already know I do not do YouTube videos on clients because I don't have time. So this video is sped up, and I tried to show as much as products as I can because I did not want the next client to cuss me out if I had her waiting too long. Because usually I do YouTube videos on models. So I just knew I had to make up for y'all because I know y'all been saying, Lashay, where's Lashay? Where's Lashay? So I had to say, you know what? Once I seen this model, I could just vision how much I was going to beat her face. So let's just jump right into it. So I'm getting into that skin prep. I cleansed her skin with eczema wipes. I also moisturized and hydrated her pores with a Tasha hydrating cream. And now we're going to start off with her base. I like to go in with swatches of her foundation. Today we are using the NARS Long Wear Foundation in the shade New Caledonia. And then I love to just apply swatches just so it can be buildable when I begin to blend, and I can be in control. I can know what's too much, what's too less. You can have a buildable coverage. After applying her foundation, now it's time for the format of her base. We'll be going in with a concealer shade that's at least 2 to 3 shades lighter than her original skin tone. Now remember, what works for me might not work for you. This technique, it all defines me. MUAs are different in their own ways. They do things different. This way I do makeup is how people love their makeup. Some people might not like this makeup. So I always tell people, if you don't like this makeup, keep scrolling, go to the next one. It's other MUAs that do makeup to your liking. So the ones to be in the comments, this is how I prefer it. I love blush. I love my clients to be matte because we're in Miami. It gets very hot. I love long-lasting makeup. And also, I love a full coverage girly. I love my girls to look like Barbies. I'm sorry. I know how our moms used to just have, you know, a little MAC powder in a purse and just dab it on the face. That's not me. I like my girls full 101 beat down. So for the concealers, we went in with the Born This Way concealer in the shade Chestnut and Warm Sand. I love Born This Way concealers because it's so creamy. It's so full coverage. When you let it dry down a few, like probably 1 minute, it will really give a perfect full coverage under eye. Also for contour, I'm going in with a contour that's at least 2 shades darker than the original skin tone, just to give that face more depth. And this is in the shade Espresso from L'Oreal Infallible Wear Concealer. And I love their concealers for everything. It's so inexpensive, and I just love how full coverage it is. We also went in with the e.l.f. Liquid Blush in the shade Coral Crush. And these are my favorite combos. So make sure you guys write that down or screenshot, take some pictures. But yeah, I tried my best to record every product I used today. After letting everything sit for a second just to build some coverage, I'm going to go in with the Make It Last Milani spray just so everything can get blended out very seamlessly and smooth. And I just love the finish of that skin. This whole format, you have to make sure that you continue to blend, blend the edges. Go back in with your foundation brush if you have to, just to avoid any harshness. I just love to blend out everything smoothly. And I'm also going to give you guys the recommendations for the brushes. Most of the time I always use Real Technique or MAC brushes, but I have been dibbing and dabbing and trying out a few different brush sets from Amazon. And yes, Amazon, I done fell in love with a few, so y'all already know I'm gonna put y'all on. Make sure you click that link in the description box below. And y'all know I love me a little bit more extra coverage, so I went in with the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Custard, just in the spots that I wanted a little bit more brighter. And then right after that, you'll begin to set that in place. So just make sure you continue to tell your client to continue to look up, just to avoid any creasing when it comes to the under eye. We want that under eye smooth, okay? So when you go in with a different puff pad, make sure you're not too heavy-handed with the powder. You want to be able to make it buildable. But everything was just so perfect with these creams. If I could have her walk out of here looking how she looked, I would have. But yeah, it just was giving all the way. So right now I'm setting her bright under eyes and also her bright areas with a Sasha Cosmetics setting powder in the shade Banana. And this has always been my favorite for years, ever since I was the beginner. Sasha Buttercup is the girl, okay? So get into it. If I did not have Sasha Buttercup, I would have used the Huda Beauty setting powder. I ran out of it today, but I love me some Huda Beauty, honey. Y'all gotta check in the Huda Beauty. It's very full coverage. It helps for any type of tearing. It's very waterproof, and this is not sponsored, but I'm just putting y'all on to my favorite powders. So I'm just setting all the areas where we use concealer, and then for the remaining of her face, I will set with a more darker powder that's similar to her skin tone, just to set everything in place. Because I did have somebody in the comments say, what's the reason of using all those powders? I know that some people don't use those powders, but y'all, we're in Miami. Yes, sometimes we get hot or cold, but the girls in Miami is a very busy state. So they're out all night. They have their dinner at 8 o'clock. They're coming back home in the morning from the club and from dinner and having fun at 5 a.m. in the morning. So I want their face to be on all day. And I just hate a dewy look. So long lasting means set your face even more. For blush and contour to bring a little bit more hue to her face, I used the Morphe 8D palette, and I also used the NYX blush. Now with the Morphe 8D palette, you guys can go refer to Juvia's Place contour palettes, but Morphe was my favorite. It's sadly discontinued, but once it come back, y'all have to make sure y'all just load it up and get as much as you can, just like I do, because I know when I tell y'all, y'all go run and get it. So right now I'm just structuring out her features. I'm getting ready for her to bake. Also, the brown shade of powder that we used to set the remaining of her face was from Huda Beauty, and the shade Cinnamon Bun. Very full coverage, very smooth. Just because you're using different powders doesn't mean it's going to make you look cakey. You have to be in control of your powders. Usually when I'm using powders, I dust the powder off on the back of the brush onto like a palette or something, just so it won't be too heavy. You have to have your limits. It doesn't mean because you're using powders for different things it's gonna make you cakey. No, it's totally different things. So right now I'm getting ready for her eyebrows. I just wanted to, she already had perfect brows, but now it's time to do it my way, just so you guys can see my format. I began to go in with some dual lash glue just to lay down those brow hairs in place, and then I will set those eyebrows with some airspun translucent powder just to mattify the area so where it's easy for me to fill in. And now I'll begin to carve it out with some concealer. Today's concealer, we used the e.l.f. hydrating concealer in the shade Deep Caramel. After carving out the brows, now it's time for you to bring down that concealer to the entire lid, just to help with eyelid prep. And then you'll begin to set that concealer with some airspun translucent powder, just to avoid any creasing when it comes to the eyeshadow. And then you'll begin to apply your eyeshadow. Today we're going in with a brown, warm, smoky type of eye look. This is my signature LASHAYSGLAMZ beat. I love me some smoky brown, especially when it comes to darker skin girls. I filled in the brows with the NYX Lift and Snatch Brow Pen in the shade Espresso, and to line up and shape up the top of her eyebrows, I went back in with her foundation shade just so it can blend in very well. And now I'm just smoking out her bottom eyelash line with some of that smoky brown. And now we're going to get ready for one of my favorite parts, the lips. And it's so hard to have so much fun with your client and vent and talk. When we get ready for the lips, I'll be trying to take control of the conversation because, girl, it's real tedious with them lips, okay? Especially when we're talking. But we was having a blast. She's Aquarius, and I love venting to Aquariuses because I'm one. This is our season, woo woo woo, and we're the only ones that get each other. Like, people do not understand us because we're very mysterious. We don't let people read us too much. But yeah, I have the best vibes in this season right now. And she also wanted the inner corner eyeliner, so I just popped on and gave her that in the gel black liner that we use. It's from Glock Gel Liner from Amazon. Lip combo eats down. So I went in with a cream for the dark liner so it can give more of like a darker warm brown for her lip liner. And then in the center I went in with the Maybelline Nude in the shade 05 or 06. And then I just topped it in to make it a little tad bit lighter on the bubblegum side with a little bit of that white concealer. Popped on some Hair Store Broadway gloss, and there's your lip combo. Now it's time for your pressed powders, and this is the result of making your skin look smooth and filtered. You're going with 2 different shades of powders. You're going with the shade that complements her entire skin tone, which is the NW50 for MAC Studio Fix. And we also went with another shade that will complement her bright areas, and that was in the shade NC55 and NW44. After using all my sprays, I went in with the One Size, Morphe, even the Revolution. I love the trio of sprays. I feel like it makes the skin look so well and at the same time long lasting. Going in with some highlighter, I went in with the Urban Decay highlighter in the shade Cowboy, and also went in with the Kiss Cosmetics highlighter, and I love it so much. Make sure you do your finishing touches before your client leaves, and everything will look perfect. She looks so gorgeous. I put her in different lighting just so you guys can see the true love of her melanin skin, and this eats down. If you guys love this video, make sure you comment down below what you like. Also click that big thumbs up if you love this video. Follow me on all platforms at LASHAYSGLAMZ. I love you guys so much. Also hit the notification bell so you can be the first to see whenever LASHAYSGLAMZ posts. And when I tell you guys, I'm coming with more bangers for y'all. And I know this is something that you guys already seen before in the previous videos, but when it's a different model, it hits a little different. And I want you guys to tell a friend that this is the page where you learn all the gems. So keep on and stay tuned. Keep focused. I love you guys so much. If you ever come into Miami, you want to book a one-on-one classes, those are still available. Just reach out. I love you guys so much. And bye. Mwah.